We made it to the start of the Alaska Highway. This starts mile 0 of the Alaska Highway, which will take us, obviously, to Alaska.
Yeah, it'll probably take us 5 or 6 days to get up there, but yeah, this is the official start of our journey up to Alaska. It's gonna be a long week, a lot of driving.
It's been a bucket list since 2021 when we first bought an RV, so we cannot believe that we're actually seeing this famous sign right now. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too.
So we're gonna drive about 45 minutes to the campground that we're going to stay at tonight. It is right on Peace River. It's just gonna be a free camp spot for us to just crash for the night. And then we're gonna wake up really early in the morning and hit the road again. And Ollie's already over it. So little change of plans. For some reason, Apple Maps didn't use the correct coordinates and took us to a random spot in the middle of nowhere. We were trusting it was going to take us to Peace River. So we drove about 15 minutes in the opposite direction of that river. So we're just going to stay in the town that we're at right now and stay at the good old faithful Walmart. Okay, we just got to Walmart. We went inside and grabbed just a couple of things that we need, and I am making us some dinner right now. I'm making us some chicken teriyaki. Actually, I haven't made this for us in a really long time, so thought I would make that for us. Can I turn on the inverter?
Yeah.
This thing's like the perfect little size for us, so I just set it to white rice and then it'll just beep when it's done. Tyler's getting the new Starlink set up, so whenever we're on our long drive tomorrow, we can stop and get internet if we need to. But we're just going to finish making dinner. We have a ton of dishes that weren't done, and this is all trash from the fridge that needs to be thrown away too. Basically anything that needs to be done we need to do before we like get too far out in the middle of nowhere, because this is probably going to be one of the only convenience places for a while.
We stayed at Walmart last night, and we were gonna get up super early today and drive to Muncho Lake, but Madison's crown fell out, so we had to schedule an emergency appointment with a local dentist here in Fort St. John. So we're headed there right now.
Yeah, last night when we were staying at this Walmart, Tyler was like, do you want me to go inside and get you some chocolate? And I was like, you know, I think I'm just gonna spice things up and get some Starburst instead. So while I'm in the middle of eating my Starburst, my crown just popped right out. So luckily we're in a town that actually has a handful of dentists. So this is my first time going to a dentist outside of the one that I've been going to since I was a little girl. That I'm clenching. I try to like be self-conscious of that, but
you don't have control over that, unfortunately.
All right, we are back. Procedure is done. No needles, no nothing.
No, thank goodness. It was a little bit painful because she had to shave down like polish where the cavity was because part of the filling had come out. So she fixed that, and that kind of hurt a little bit. But my bite is a lot better because she shaved down some teeth. So apparently that was the problem, is that I was clenching and my crown was up too high. So now it's all better. She said that I should be able to eat stuff like Starburst and stuff. You want to go to Tim Hortons and we can get some donuts and coffee?
Let's do it.
Okay.
This is your first time driving in Canada. Got about 2.5 hours left.
There's some cinnamon rolls that are really famous, so a lot of people stop at the Tetzel Lodge specifically for these cinnamon rolls.
Yeah.
So hopefully it's even open whenever we get there, because if it's not open, then we'll be staying the night in the area and then wake up
Oh yeah.
and eat the cinnamon rolls.
Here we go.
Let's get out of here.
Go. So glad this RV doesn't take DEF. They made this RV like a year or two before it was required, so I lucked out. Well, the cinnamon rolls are closed on Mondays, so they open at 7 a.m. though, so we can probably get cinnamon rolls for breakfast. We made it to our campsite for the night, just off the Alaska Highway, like, what, 30 feet. There's 2 other campers here. I think we're all kind of headed towards the same place, so it's nice to be here in the middle of nowhere, but with, you know, people that camp just like you. We got a pizza in the oven.
I wasn't about to cook anything.
Yeah, it's been a long day. I'm gonna run our new Starlink up, and then after that, we're gonna have some pizza and just watch a movie and rest for the evening. And then tomorrow morning, we're going to go get cinnamon rolls.
For real this time.
For real this time, yeah. Today is day 3 of our drive to Alaska. We're headed to Tetzel Lodge to get some cinnamon rolls, hopefully some coffee. And then today we're only driving about 3 hours to Muncho Lake. Then we're just gonna hang out there for the rest of the afternoon. Like 7:20 in the morning, we just saw 7 bison on the side of the road. One was a baby. I did not expect to see that many. Those cinnamon rolls were so good. Definitely worth the hype.
I'm gonna be full for foreseeable future.
Yeah. Yeah, I was anticipating buying like 2 or 3 of them, but 1 is definitely good. All right, let's go to Muncho Lake now. It'll be nice to sit by a lake again.
Yeah.
So, all right,
hopefully
let's
the
go.
weather will clear up.
Yeah, it's supposed to rain, but it's all right. Let's go.
Well, we're leaving Muncho Lake and we have a long day ahead of us, and the first stop is going to be Liard River Hot Springs. Then we're going to go to the Whirlpool Canyon, the Signpost Forest, which is one of the most famous things on the Alaska Highway. Then we're also going to hit Rancheria Falls, and then finally we're going to hopefully be staying at the Teslin Lake Overlook.
6 baby bison and how many adults? 10 adults just on the side of the road.
It was a tad bit confusing getting here because our directions took us to the Liard Hot Springs campground, and so we knew that we weren't going to be staying at the campgrounds and we didn't know where else to go. There is actually gas across the street too, so a lot of people are turning left to get gas. So we just went on and turned into the campground like the directions said. So it's a provincial park, so it's a campground and you can also buy day passes. That's where the confusion was for us of this is where we were supposed to turn or not. So we're stopped and Tyler's inside that building over there and he's going to get us a day pass and then we'll be on our way to the hot spring. So if you do decide to stay at this campground, which a lot of people do stop here on their way up to Alaska, this campground is actually surrounded by an electric fence to keep the bears out because there is a lot of wildlife in the area.
$10 for both of us to get in all day. No smoking.
No marijuana.
No marijuana.
Yeah, do a backflip. Okay, we both just took some really quick showers and now we're back on the road, and the next attraction on the Alaska Highway is Whirlpool Canyon. Alright, we just got to Whirlpool Canyon. It's literally just right off the Alaska Highway. It's not a hike or anything. You just pull into this parking lot, if you will, and we're just gonna walk to it. I wonder if it's like kind of early in the season to where maybe there hasn't been enough snow melt for the river to be up high enough for the whirlpool right here.
We just had lunch by the Whirlpool Canyon rest area. Next stop is the famous Signpost Forest. It's about 64 or 65 miles away. We're gonna leave one of our old license plates there. I think it's from our previous RV. We'll sign it, put our names on it and stuff. I could sit here and watch them all day, but you gotta go. Bye.
Well, it finally happened. We got our first chip. We were trying to go around somebody who was going really slow. You can see there's a big old black hole right there.
I was waiting for it to happen, honestly. There's so much loose gravel on this road.
So whenever we were going around that car, we were on a gravel patch, so it just flung up a big rock.
Pulled over at this little gas station, get some diesel filled up, and got us a couple cold pops. I got our Starlink up so I can download directions because we haven't had cell service for, I don't know, probably all day today. We didn't have it all last night or the day, I think the day before. So the past several hundred miles, there's been no cell service at all. So we're gonna get some internet real quick. I'm gonna download our maps. I don't really need it. I just like to know how many miles I have left. There we go. Yeah, look at those speeds. We're in the middle of nowhere and we got speeds like that. That's great. We are here.
This is like the OG destination of what I've heard about when it comes to going to the Alaska Highway.
Definitely a very famous spot. So this was on our first RV, the Toyota Dolphin.
Back in 2021.
It's pretty significant because that was the first RV that we started traveling in. And we talked about going to Alaska in that RV, so this feels
Fitting.
yeah, feels right to leave it here. Alright, I think we found our spot right here. It looks like there used to be something and it fell, but there's nothing down there, so I'm claiming it. Yeah. Next time we come up here, we can see it. Got it up there. If anybody finds it, tag us on Instagram. Take a picture of it. We're gonna go explore a little bit, see if we can find anybody else's. Just found some famous YouTubers. Ooh, I had to change shirts because it was getting hot. Well, that was really cool. I think everybody comes here on their pilgrimage up to Alaska to leave a little bit of something. Yeah, we left our license plate and now we're gonna hit the road. Go to Rancheria Falls. I have no idea what this is. We're about to find out. We made it to, I think it's pronounced Rancheria, but there's a waterfall we're gonna go check out. I'm not too sure how far it is, but I got my bear spray. We're gonna take Ollie with us. And we might actually stay the night here, because this looks like a really good spot. So we are gonna stay here tonight. It's right next to the highway, the Alaska Highway, right there. So it's easy for us to just jump on it in the morning and take off. Road noise hasn't been too bad. We've been staying like right next to the road the last several nights. We don't mind it though. There's not a whole lot of traffic anyway. It's time to make some mac and cheese. Oh man, it's 6:30 and we could honestly keep driving till midnight. I went to the window last night at like 11 o'clock and it was still light. The further north we go, the later daylight is, and it's getting really wild. The amount of daylight up here, it just makes you want to stay up late. In the evening, I feel like I need to be doing something at like 10 o'clock because the sun's still out. As far as our location goes, we are technically in the Yukon. We're at that, like in that middle part where you kind of like, you go up into the Yukon, then back down, and then back up, and then back down to British Columbia. We have one more dip into BC until we go up into the Yukon for good. And then it's Yukon from there until Alaska. This is where we are right now. We're getting closer to Alaska. Still have a long ways to go. So probably another 2 days, maybe 3 at the most, but I don't see it being longer than 3 until we get to Alaska.
Bible, revisiting my husband's madness and death at my son's hands. They all remind me of your blackmail.
Good morning. Today's a big day. We have about 360 something miles to go today. We have a lot of things to see today. The Carcross Desert, which is the world's smallest desert. So after that, we're gonna go to Miles Canyon. There is a suspension bridge that we're gonna walk across, which will be kind of cool. Shortly after that, basically we'll be in Whitehorse. We're gonna see the SS Klondike. It's a National Historical Site. It's an old boat that used to go up and down the river. So that'll be really cool to see. And then after that, we have a campsite by the river, which will put us less than 100 miles from the border of Alaska, which means we will be in Alaska tomorrow. I'm gonna finish my waffle. We're gonna get going. I think we're gonna eat here at they got a restaurant here in the gas station. We're in the town of Teslin. It is a really pretty town. Got us a Yukon map, actual paper, just in case.
We also heard that cheesies are really good. It's like a no preservative version of Cheetos. So try those out. And then also got Coffee Crisp, which is a proud partner with the NHL. So we'll give that a try later too.
Yep. All right, here we go. West to Carcross. Been driving on this road for so long, I haven't even looked at the maps for the last forever, and I missed my turn. We haven't gotten off the Alaska Highway once until just now. I think it'll take us about 60 miles out of our way, and then we get back on the Alaska Highway a little bit further to the north when we catch up to it. Here it is. Whoa. It does look like a little desert. Ollie loves the sand, so he's gonna love this. Do you want to walk all the way across the desert to say that we have walked across an entire desert before?
Where is it?
I think it's just right up there, yeah, the hill. It's a fascinating landscape because it's a desert, but you have pine trees, and then you've got mountains with snow behind us. So we see like 3 different environments. You got sand on your nose. I think we've decided against going across the whole thing.
Walking across sand is hard.
It is hard, and we would have to go uphill too. We can see the whole desert from right here though, like in the middle of it. We've spent time in it, and now we're gonna move on. Next is Emerald Lake. Let's do it. Unfortunately, we don't have our oars just yet for our kayaks. We have some really portable kayaks that weigh like a couple pounds, and they fit into a backpack. We could get on the lake, but we just wouldn't be able to paddle around only with our hands. Mosquitoes are already getting bad. That's the whole thing. It's so cool. Now we are going to head to Whitehorse. We have just spotted our first grizzly bear. Wow. All right. He's walking right in front of us. Well, he took off. That was our very first grizzly bear that we've seen in the wild. He got a little too close to the RV. SS Klondike.
The largest vessel to ever ply the Canadian portion of the Yukon River.
So I'm guessing that by the look of the river, there's only certain times of the year that this boat could have operated because the river is very low right now. They say the snow hasn't melted very much and it's been a little colder than it usually is.
Every piece that you see on this sculpture was a donation by a Yukoner. It's meant to represent both the origin of the city's name as well as the fact that we are all responsible for the shaping of the Yukon, each in our own small way.
What a great view behind us of basically the whole city and the river. I bet this looks really cool at night when it's lit up. We are beat. Let's go find a campsite. Stay the night.
Ready.
It's 9 o'clock right now, and it's so bright.
It's 8:50.
It's 8:50. 10 minutes to 9, and it is so bright out. It just doesn't feel like that. We found a home for the night. It's just a standard rest stop, literally right off the Alaska Highway. Pretty quiet, cars going by every once in a while. A couple campers parked here. It's 9:30 at night and the sun is still got probably an hour to go. Good thing we have blackout curtains. We're gonna draw the shades, make it dark in there, and get some good sleep tonight. We got kind of a drive to go tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be crossing the border back into the US, into Alaska. We don't know where we're gonna stay the night tomorrow. I wanna drive at least another 100 miles into Alaska. We have a long ways to go from there, but we will definitely be in Alaska tomorrow, so we're excited about that. Yeah, we're probably gonna watch TV and go to bed, so good night. Today is day 6 of driving the Alaska Highway and also the final day of being in Canada. We're about 300 miles from the border, which means we've probably got 6 to maybe 7 hours of driving left. We've heard the roads are pretty bad towards Alaska, so I'm just prepared for that. It's gonna be kind of a boring drive today, nothing really to do, or we don't have any place planned to stop and see along the way, so I think we're gonna get quite a bit of miles on our belt today. We had cell signal last night, but it was pretty slow. Starlink is just so fast.
So on this stretch of the Alaska Highway, we're eventually going to hit Deconstruction Bay, but the roads are really going to start getting bad, and we've already gotten just a glimpse of it. And so while we were driving, that cabinet just flew open. So Tyler just got this rope and tied all 3 of them together so that way they don't fly out while we're driving, and we've taken any other precaution that we can think of that will cause noise or things to fall out while we're driving, because it's about to get bumpy and stay bumpy.
Got a couple of A&W root beers. This should be our last gas station in Canada until we hit Alaska, and then I'll know how much I'm actually paying for diesel. We have 135 miles to go. So a couple more hours and we'll be in Alaska, and we'll change time zones for the last time. And we'll be in Alaska time zone for the rest of the summer.
We just made it to the Alaska sign. It is so insane to be able to say that.
We have made it to Alaska. We finally. This side of the bench is Alaska, and on that side is the Yukon. So I'm in Alaska, you are in the Yukon.
We got our passports ready, and now we're ready to cross the border back into the United States.
All right, well, we got our picture by the Alaska sign, so we got our passports ready, and we're about to head across border check. So on our way into Alaska now.
Well, we crossed the border in probably 2 minutes flat. He just asked us where we were coming from, where we were going, why we're gonna be here, what we did for a living back in Tennessee, if we bought anything in Canada that we were bringing back into the United States, and then he asked if Ollie was vaccinated with rabies. And that was it, and sent us on our merry way.
That might have been the shortest border crossing that we've done so far.
Probably. Yeah. So now we are officially in Alaska.
Back in the U.S.
Back in the United States, back in miles per hour.
Miles per hour.
Back in the U.S. dollar.
No more kilometers.
No more kilometers.
I know how much I'm paying for gas now.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, it's great.
It's good to be back home.
That has come to find this world is cruel.
Well, that concludes our road trip on the Alaska Highway. In total, we drove 1,300 miles. So once we crossed the border into Alaska, finally, we drove 2 hours to the town of Tok. And so we were just so tired that day. We just stayed at a campground that was a little on the pricey side, but it was a great place for us to plug in, dump our tanks. We got groceries. We even did some laundry, and we ate at Fast Eddie's restaurant, which we highly recommend. We stayed there for a couple of days, and we moved on to the next town. And so we can't wait to show you guys what we've been up to in Alaska and some future adventures that we have while we're here for the rest of the summer. So thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next video.